Hey baby, and we are back with some more Pillars of Eternity. We had just found Gilded Vale with Neve, our ex-pirate. We had just finished discussing the state of affairs with the steward, who was kind of a jerk. But we have found the town, so let's get to exploring.
No problem.
So first thing that I want to do is I want to see if, because he said something about a body up here that we could quote-unquote plunder. Where are you?
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Oh. Looking for anyone who can help me feel better. He gives an understanding nod as he takes a long drag from his pipe. My condolences. And turns his attention away, watching the village around him. Well, alright then. Let's go investigate the tree. The bracelets of twine and bead, wailing flowers. Alright. The creepy tree of death. Yeah, no. Okay. Well, let's plunder what we can. Found some blood moss. Okay, doesn't look like we can... Doesn't look like we're going to be getting anything out of them. At least not yet. Let's go to our map. See what we got going on here. We have Ingrid's house. Offra's house. The Temple of Aothis. Black Hammer Smithery. Alright, there's a blacksmith. Got a windmill. And road south. Aloth. The Black Hound. Alright, so there's the inn. Alright, well. We have plenty of money, so I say first thing we do is we go to the blacksmith. It's an impressive build, towering above the countertop. His skin is the dusky blue of the deeper oceans, and his thick arms boast corded muscle. Small ears frame a square-jawed face coated in smeared soot, and arcing black tattoos alike. Welcome. You're the first new face we've seen in quite some time. What can I do for you? Well, what do you have here? You've come to us at a strange time. Stock's not what it used to be, but we've fine weapons and armor to offer yet. All forged right here at the Black Hammer. What happened? We just don't have the supplies. Been expecting the next delivery for near on a week now, and haven't seen a sign of it. Have to expect they were hit by bandits. The road out east is crawling with them, or my workers ran off with the wagons themselves, maybe, to make some coin. As if that lot would dare. If you happen to be headed that way, maybe you could keep out for a supply wagon, or my shipment at least. They'd be cutting through the Black Meadow, I expect. Only good road for it. As it is, most of our weapons go to His Grace, Lord Radric. He glances at the nearby guard. And that's as it should be. But it doesn't leave much for outsiders. We just don't have the iron. Well, I will see them back safe and sound. I'd appreciate your trying anyhow. You bring back the supplies at least, and I'll have much more to offer you. A discount to start. And if you do find my workers, you give them a good smack upside the head for me. Alright, we got our first quest. The Smith's Shipment. See 4 people gathered by the door to the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. First figure raises his hands for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood but his height and stature suggested an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
Ooh, a fight! One of the other men glares at the hooded elf. His eyes are red from drink, but his gaze is focused. You've got a lot of gall mocking us in our own village. We don't take ill treatment from foreigners, especially not Adirans.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Why, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
Well, okie dokie then.
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
That's where you're wrong.
This is unnecessary. Wouldn't you rather be inside drinking than out here arguing? We don't want your charity either, foreigner. Sounds suspiciously like you're defending him. Oh, you want to play that game, huh? Show him what for, Neve. As the last of the attackers falls, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
Actually, that was fun.
Then I can't imagine you lack for entertainment in these parts.
He straightens his hood and you note the remains of fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath it is sturdy and fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvusser, at your service.
How'd you manage to get stuck out here? That is something of a long story.
Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I'm grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
I was traveling with a caravan, but we were separated near some ruins.
In Gwithan Ruins? Well, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. And half the locals would arrest you for trespassing and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
Well, he's a learned man. He might be able to help us. He might know something. So let's be honest with him. Let's say several hooded figures operating a strange machine. He goggles at you silently, apparently assessing your earnestness. Finally, he gives you a clipped, awkward laugh.
You do manage to find yourself in rather interesting predicaments.
Just how did you manage to cross those three drunks anyway?
I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
Well, you did tell that one man to go fuck his sister. I heard the same thing. For just a moment, his look as if he's about to say something else. His expression brightens with mischief. But before he can speak, he forces a tight smile, biting his lips so hard you expect to see blood. Finally, his face relaxes and he shakes his head. I should speak more clearly next time. My apologies. Are you like a multiple personality type dude? What are you doing in Gilded Vale?
Excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
Like you said, I'm also a settler.
Indeed. In that case, welcome to Gilded Vale, a true refuge from civilization.
You don't look exactly like a settler.
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
Well, I should get going.
As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
Oh, we could make a friend. We could make a friend of the multiple personality wizard elf. Let's go.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
Yay! Yay, friends. Alright, let's collect all of their goodies. And head to the inn. Looks like we got some villagers. Let's go to the barkeep.
Greetings.
Do you know anyone of looking for work? Let me see what I have to work with. Oh. I think this is where we can build our own party members.
Greetings.
Let's see what you have for sale. Opens his mouth but seems to reconsider. Nothing for me, thanks. Alright, looks like we got some camping supplies, some grains, milks, beer! Could always do with more beer. But I think I want to hold on to my money.
Hello.
I'd like to know more about the Black Hound. Really? Well, let me see. The actual building's been here for years, but the Black Hound's fairly new. The Ooooo faces here too, fewer than we used to, I'll admit. I used to work the tables, actually, until the old owner up and left. Nobody's sure what happened to him. He even left his poor hound behind. That's the name, see? The Black Hound? Still sitting upstairs, pining after him. Poor old girl. Place ended up in my hands somehow. My very own inn. A lot of hard work involved, but it's been worth it so far. You only serve portage? Aloth looks at you and shakes his head quickly. It isn't by choice, I assure you. We used to serve some of the finest meals in the Direwood. We've had a damnable run of luck is all. It's been a bad season for the crops and we're running low on supplies. I sent Tenfrith up north to stock up. Tenfrith's our cook, you see. An artist with a good roast. But it's been days since he was supposed to return and we haven't seen any sign of him. I've only just taken over from the last owner myself. I don't know what I'd do if he doesn't turn up. Well, I could try to find him for you. Really? I'd be grateful to you if you did. He was traveling through the Vale Wood. It's probably nothing. A broken wheel, maybe. But I do worry. You see him safely home, and I think everyone in here would sing your praises. Nobody much likes my porridge. Farewell. We got another quest! Late for dinner. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
I do need the
Hail,
rest.
traveler.
So let's get a room. Holy cow. We're sleeping in the common room, man. We're cheap. Neve is a cheap adventurer. I mean, she's a pirate. She used to sleep in ships and stuff. You sleep Your sleep is restless and fevered, assaulted by hisses and whispers, blanketed with a suffocating anxiety. You open your eyes to awaken and find yourself in front of Gilded Vale's gallows tree, the creaking of its ropes growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman, whose face is shriveled inward like moldering fruit. Her head hangs limply to one side. As you look at her, she looms larger and larger in your mind, till she is mere inches from your face. Suddenly her head snaps up and her eyes open, and they are empty, and behind them is a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts, and with a gust of rancid air she speaks a word. Watcher. You jolt awake, the foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face, and thick droplets in your skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember her seeing her decayed face when you spoke with the magistrate. He called her an animancer. Though it fills you with a new queasy apprehension, you feel a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, if only to confirm she is truly dead. Find the dwarf woman from the dream. Well, okie dokie. Alright, what's next? We have the Temple of Aothas. We have Ingrod's house. Is this Aufa's house? Sorts of things.
No problem.
All sorts of goodies. So long as we can get a third body out there. I'd like to hire some help. 250. Yeah, so roughly cut us in half. I will hire a level 1 adventurer. Oh no, we have to create him from scratch. Okay. Let's make him male. Sure. I'm thinking we're going for a ranger. I want somebody who's a little physically ranged. So, and there we go. We have hired Rollin. He is a level 1 ranger. It's going to be super helpful for us on our quest. He has an Antiope, who we have named Longhorn. Now we can go back to the Valewood and see if we can find some goodies. We have some stuff that we need to find, apparently. Hello.
Welcome.
Nonton. Man appears to be hurriedly dismantling his camp in quick jerky motions. He looks up as you approach, his expression tense and drawn. Greetings. On your way south, is it? Oh, Hearthhold. Don't get too many of your sort coming out this way, meaning no offense. Suppose you're headed for Defiance Bay. The sooner you clear these woods, the better, I think. Never mind the woods. There's a strange machine in the ruins up north. There were these figures clad in black, performing some kind of rite. You want to keep clear of those, whatever you saw. Strange things always crop up around Igwithan sites. I don't doubt these people you saw up there were up to no good. Let them deal with it. They do not take kindly to trespassers. We came across a bear in a cave to the north. Got the better of a friend of mine. I only just made it out with my life. In any case, the forest's already cost me a friend. I'm heading home before it takes anything else. Where did you find this bear? In a cave, a ways up that way. I know where it is. It's in the bear cave. I found that earlier. I wouldn't seek it out if I were you. It was a great brute of a beast, but I hate to hear it took another life. What happened to your friend? We didn't see it coming. We were following a stag. Pearly, he saw something in the brambles, and he went tearing off after it. We all but stumbled into the cave. Poor Pearly didn't stand a chance. The bear was on top of him before we knew it was happening. The beasts will take what they will, and this time, Galawain's favor fell upon the bear. Who are you? Name's Danton. Born and raised in Gilded Vale, haven't had a spot of luck since. Luckier than Pearlius. Okay, so there's a bear. And we found some riverweed. Well, we got a lot of things that we need to do. Where was that bandit? I think the bandit was over here, I think. There we go. Tenfrith, it's the innkeeper's friend. The young dwarf tending to the stew looks up startled as he sees you approach. He drops his ladle, splattering stew across the ground. What? Get her, you dogs, and make sure our new cook don't run off. Help, please, help. One of the bandits gives Tenfrith a kick as they pass him, and he huddles. Alright, we are entering combat. Done. Success! We did it. We saved Tenfrith. Let's loot the bodies. What do we get? Looks like we just got some leather armor. We got some money. Silver loosh. And then we got some daggers. Could be better, but we saved her friend. That's what matters. Oh, looks like we got some juicy stuff. Really cool. Let's continue
Well
onward.
met, friend.
By the flame. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I thought I'd be stuck cooking for those ignorant weasels for the rest of my life. Until they were bored with me, I suppose. Did Posca send you? She must be beside herself. I must get back at once. But listen, the next time you're in Gilded Vale, make sure to drop by the Black Hound. I'll let her know what you've done for me, and I'm sure she'll do right by you in turn. Oh, to be back at my oven again. I have earned a reputation. Let's look at our reputation. See what our reputation is. Neve's reputation is that she is benevolent. By the looks of it. I remember there was we gained something. It was like a disposition or something. Most powerful enemy defeated. No. I guess that has to be it. Oh, party reputation. Oh no, I think this is our disposition, I think. This is our reputation. So we are an ally in Gilded Vale. We are faintly good in Gilded Vale.
No problem.
Alright, let's try to take a gander at that bear. It's not gonna let me do anything, is it? Oof.
Eh?
Oh, it was close. But we got bear hide, though.
Eh?
What is this? Hello? A figure drifts, suspended, in the musty air of the cavern. Its form and features blur and twist in cascading ripples of incandescence. You feel its energy eddying about your limbs, filling them with a heavy chill. Reach out. You reach out a hand for the spirit. In a moment, the contact you feel as if you have been struck a blow, head reeling as you tumble helplessly into a waiting darkness. Light blooms at the edge of your vision. You feel the sun at your back, and the weight of a bow in your hand. You you know suddenly that you have come a long way from the Vale hunting deer. Now you are standing before a cavern, and the darkness extends far into its depths. Even so, your friend strides out before you, his red cloak flapping at his heels. You follow, heart hammering in your chest as he leads you deeper into the cavern. There is a roar like thunder echoing around you. Fear seizes you, casts you stumbling back towards the exit, towards light and escape. You see a glint of steel, and there is a sudden, terrible flash of agony behind your knee. You scream, stumble, fall. Your thoughts are chaos, lanced through with pain. But in a moment of terrible clarity, you see your friend look back from the mouth of the cavern, his dagger daubed in crimson to match his cloak. And then there is a great dark shape above you, and then there is more pain. The vision recedes. You are thrown back into yourself with seemingly resentful force. The corpse lies at your feet, and the specter lingers. In the span of energy between you both, you feel a sense of questioning, confusion, of anger. I met him on the road, your friend. A sudden lashing anger emanates from the spirit. Rage and grief seem to pour from the gleaming figure like smoke. Oh no. Could I be a righteous avenger? I mean, I'm a pirate. What do I do? Well, you know what? I'm a pirate, and I don't like mutiny. Honor amongst thieves. I'll find him and see that he answers for what he's done to you. For a moment, the spirit seems to burn bright, and your head fills with a sickly triumph. The spirit seems to weaken with the force of its own exultation, growing fainter and fainter till you are alone once more. Aloth looks at you through narrowed eyes. Are you all right? You seemed lost just now. Yes, I'm fine. That's good to know, but I don't suppose you could tell me what that was all about. I'm not really sure. It's just recently started happening. Indeed. At the risk of sounding patronizing, you should probably have that examined. It's a shame that Lord Roderick's hanged half of the Gilded Vale. The Valen dwarf might have known something about your condition. Let's continue on. Well, I mean... well, we have some goodies. We got cave coral. More cave coral. Apparently I can't do anything more with the body. Let's go for the chest. Found a great sword. See if we can't find him in these houses. Ah, it's Danton! We found him. The man and woman appeared to have been deep in conversation, working at closing two bulging satchels. They move to embrace until the woman notices your approach and pauses, her smile faltering a little.
Greetings.
Can we help you? Do you know this woman, Nanton? Nanton coughs. Yes, I think we met in the Vale Wood. I warned her about the bear. Glad to see you've made it. Was there something else you wanted? You two seem to be in a hurry. Yes, I imagine so. Ingroid laughs. We're packing for a trip, actually. I've been meaning to visit Defiance Bay and... well, in truth, I think I've had my fill of this town. Norton reaches to take her hand. It's time for some new scenery, he says. I know what really happened in that bear cave, Nanton. The color drains from Nanton's face. I don't know what you mean. I told you the truth of it. Are you accusing him of something? She looks to Nanton, touching his arm. If this is about the accident, we're both grieving Pearlie's loss. But it was a wild animal's doing. Nanton shakes his head minutely. You see a tremble in his hands. What would make you suggest such a thing? I had a vision in the cave. I saw Pearlie's last moments as he lived them. I saw you cut him with the knife. That's not possible. Nanton stares at you. How could you possibly know? His hand falls to his sword belt. I left no sign. Naunton, wait. She raises a hand. I don't know what you saw in that cave, but this isn't what you think. Pearly, my husband, he was as much a beast as that bear. Oh, you guys. I tried to leave the first time I suffered his temper, but he wouldn't have it. She looked away, expression pained. Naunton, we met. And I knew I'd found someone special, someone kind, who cared for me. Oh my God. Please, all we want is to leave this place, to start somewhere else. We've some coin saved up. You could have it, if you'll only let us go. Alright, we have a decision. So, if I understand this tale of star-crossed lovers, Pearly was an abusive guy to Ingroid, who then met Naunton, who was nicer to her than Pearly, so Naunton rigged him to die at the bear cave, so that they could get whacked, so that he could have Ingroid, and then they can run away together. Oh man. Talk about a newlywed game. Well, sometimes it's hard to let the raider life go. So sounds fair enough. Hand it over. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. She fumbles through one of her bags and withdraws a heavy coin purse, which she hands to you. For your compassion. We've gained 50 copper. Let's go, Naunton. We've a long way ahead of us. Boom! We have completed a task. One. Talk to her now that her friend's back.
Welcome.
Hello, and welcome to the... Oh, it's you! Tenfith told us what you did for him. It's such a relief to have him back. I can't thank you enough. Consider yourself a favorite of the house. Discounts on drinks, rooms. Tenfith said he wanted to whip up something nice for you. He's already back in the kitchen. So what would you like? I'd like a room, please. Certainly. You're always welcome. Whoa. That is a lot of XP. Oh, wow. Those are definitely cheaper. Still gonna hold on to my money. Those perks are gonna come in really handy, but for now, I think we'll just continue to sleep in the common room. Hello, friend. Who's there? Man lies resting against the wall, lit by the dim illumination of the fading sconces. He has a gaunt fox-like aspect, and his face is pale and damp with sweat. One arm is held loosely against his side, sleeve soaked with blood. He gives you an anxious glance as you near, his features twisted with pain. Have a care if you mean to go in. He casts a quick look towards the doorway to his left. This place is not so empty as I thought. This temple isn't what it used to be. Probably for the best. Times being as they are. I'm no looter, if that's what you're thinking. Not one of the faithful either. Just wanted to do some good, I suppose. Got my arm clawed up for it. He regards you warily. Maybe you'd have better luck. Better luck with what? These ruins around us used to be a temple of Aothus, the scattered god. A grand temple at that. His worshippers would come from all over the Direwood. From Riadsaris even. Until the war, of course. Even then you'd get some of the stubborn ones. The ones that couldn't get it through their head that their god was dead and gone. Go on. Once the legacy started, Lord Roderick decided he'd been too lenient on the Ethosians. Or the Eothasians? Eothasians, I guess. He had his people go in and put them to the sword. Left them down there, buried under a heap of rock. After that, Roderick ordered the temple sealed. It's been years like that up until recently. Lord Roderick hopes that if we rededicate the temple to a living god, then we'll be forgiven, and the legacy will end, see? But until then, the temple is as you see it, unguarded. That's where you come in. Those priests, maybe they didn't have a lick of sense between them, but they still didn't deserve to go like that. Chopped down in their god's house. It doesn't sit right with me. If you can get down there, find their remains, maybe we can finally give them a proper burial. No small task. There's coin in it for you if you need motivating. A pleasant surprise to see that someone around here has a shred of respect for the dead. Oh. I'll find them. Then by the flame, I owe you a good turn. But listen, the temple's been sealed off for so long it's crawling with creatures. But if you get past them, the priests would have been down on the lower floor. They'll be there still, if they're anywhere. Those priests had all kinds of secret chambers. Switches in the walls, trick sconces, that kind of thing. Keep an eye out. And take care down there. I wouldn't want to send someone else after your remains. I'll wait here by the stairs to keep a lookout. Maybe try to patch myself up some. Buried secrets.
Yeah?
Okay, well, it's time to go a-plundering. Go for it. Okay. Well, that sucked. I think we got about as far as we could without risking
Hail and well met.
even more death. So let's go ahead. Let's go back to the inn. We're gonna sleep because we kind of have to. The squat, distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bow that sags at the tug of her noose. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings. I will reach out for the woman. Take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out towards the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you have expanded enough to reach her, there is a sudden jolt to your mind, a ringing electric surge of images and words and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman, and when you open them again, she is staring at you with eyes clouded in a milky fog, her body still swaying in a wind you no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in a misty void. The woman gives a slow nod of her head, the rope creaking as she does so, and she smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
Am I imagining this?
No, I think not. A pity that. It would be simpler. A mercy even. To not have to wander anymore, no? Alas, we are here, you and I. Wherever here may be.
How are you able to speak to me?
Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it. I think it is a very good choice.
I need to understand something that's happening to me.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there.
As if she's reading my mind.
You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, though. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair. And here we are, visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on, Some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on. And those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either living or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their honor can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder!
What do you mean when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or
Oh,
other
right,
difficulties.
quote-unquote, other difficulties.
You should see old Meerwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
I think I survived Bayawak. Do you know why that would be?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing. Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me, no?
You said souls break apart over time.
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die, and pick up pieces of others when we are born again. But less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. No. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence, and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
I want to know something about you.
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though.
What happened to you?
Oh, come now. Such a question. As though the answer were plain as a rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer. Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife. See why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months. Looked high and low for impurities. Tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what
Tell
I
me.
found? Nothing at all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear. Oh, yes, my lord. She is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I've ended up.
Oh. Farewell.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Neve was granted Crucible of the Soul.
Yeah?
17 and a half. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
I'm sorry?
The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta.
What are you talking about?
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
Is that what you people do for fun around here?
Name's Adair. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get
What makes
involved.
you think I was interested in the dwarf woman?
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a Radric at
Do you
first.
know what a watcher is?
Careful, friend. Let's not use that word round here. There'll be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come to these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all.
None
no
taken.
offense. The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fella who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
What does your town have against you?
Pick the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, there was a temple to him, to give you some idea. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, and then I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me. Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Radric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
You can see why I was eager to leave. If you're next to be hanged, what are you still doing here? Drinking, mostly. I'm on my way out, just haven't figured out where I'm going yet. We could travel together. Where are you headed? Someplace called Saydua. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of
Probably
it before.
because you were too scared to get hanged, man.
Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger, and a strange one at that. But, truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
It's a fine reason if I ever heard one.
All right, then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
Waboom! We have another dude. Okay, that's what we should do. So let's sally onward. We're going to McGrawn's Fork.
I saw you in the flames.
Durance. Squatting at the base of this statue is an incredibly ugly man with bulging red cheeks raked by pox scars and a scraggly beard. He is sweating, as if he has a fever, but his breathing is measured and steady, like a slow push of a blacksmith's bellows, but that comparison feels strange and unwelcome. The next comparison, possibly sparked by his grin, is that of a bear trap, and then out of nowhere, there is a hint of alchemical fire that fades almost as soon as you identify the smell.
Come to pray at the statue? The others are welcome, but it's best if just you and I trade words, and your shadows stay quiet. Hands off their weapons, both arcane and steel. It's only you I want to trade words with anyway. I swear before the whore that is Margaret, no harm will come to you in her shadow, if that's enough of a promise for you. If not... I didn't give it. You probably find names as useless as I do. The names that litter this world like debris are hard enough to wrap around the tongue. And what do they matter?
That's not what I was thinking, bro.
It's what's beneath the skin and the letters I care about. What burns within. It's more important to me you're a watcher than whatever culture or accent decorates your letters like awkward crowns. Take pride in your actions, not where you hail from, or how your name rolls off whatever liar's tongue coats it now. If you need a title to hang on me to match your own, Watcher, then call me Durance. And as you observe souls, I test them.
How did you know I was a watcher? I can see the questions bubbling up. Let's burn them away.
I am a missionary. I walk this diseased nation with its heathen, its people so careless with the spirits of others and their own, watchers among them. Yes, I know you for what you are, and your name doesn't interest me. Names are for honest folk, and you are a crack that shines light from another place. We're meant to travel together, you and I. Saw you in the flames. Not your face, but that soul of yours. All tightened up, like a huntsman's knot.
You saw my soul in the flames?
There's things we can teach each other. If you're in need of answers to your mantle of questions. I don't force my words on anyone other than you. I don't care who walks with you or what their mewling problems and politics are. There's enough howling in the world without me stoking that fire. I won't take from your provisions, don't need much on the road. I can carry my weight, which is considerable.
So is he like wanting to join the party?
Many will stand against you. They probably already have, from what I can see. Left their marks, it seems. Like a trail, worming its way behind you.
Company would be welcome on the road.
Then let us walk together, Watcher.
Cool! Now I have to spend some time traveling with Durance, but we have a third party. We have a fifth party member now, where before we only had 3. We're just gathering people up like Pokemon. Alright, what are you, Durance? You're a priest. You are a priest of Magran. Well, welcome to the party, Durance. I know you're not, that you don't really care that that's your name, but that's what we're going to call you. I think we're going to call it here. I think gaining 2 party members in like the span of like 20 minutes is pretty decent leg of time. We haven't really done a lot this session. We did a lot of exploration. Most of this episode was spent in a dungeon crawl that never really got completed. We still have places to go. We didn't find the priest's body in that dungeon, or in that temple. I'll just say the Temple of Aothis. We never did find the bodies. Way too many monsters down there for me to dig farther than I did. But with 5 people in the party now, it might become a little bit easier. But we're not going to be taking our chances, that's for sure. So we're probably going to spend some more time exploring this new area of the woods. We still need to find the blacksmith stuff. Hopefully get ourselves some juicy discounts in the Gilded Vale. But I don't think we're ready to leave for Defiance Bay and Said Nua just yet. So we will call it here. And I will see you next time.